My name is Ryan Leonard. I am interviewing Martha Redling for my Southern Culture project. I'll be asking her a series of questions about her life on a farm. Did you live on a farm, and if so, what kind of farm was it?
I lived on the Overcast Chester Dairy Farm and Produce Farm also. It's a produce farm in Mooresville, North Carolina, and / Rowan Ardle County, because the Rowan Ardle County went right down the middle of the farmhouse.
What was your role on the farm?
Our role was the unhard help. When I'm saying that is that from the early age we were taught, at 5 I was taught how to milk a cow. One of my main duties was helping in the morning milk the cows, and in the afternoon. We did not have milking machines back then because we couldn't afford them. And so we, all 4 kids and 2 adults, milked the cows. One of my main jobs though, I was in charge of the chickens, to keep the nest clean, to feed and water them, gather the eggs. If there was any snakes in the nest eating the eggs, I was in charge to pick them up as long as they weren't poisonous, put them in the snake sack, and then to let them go down in the pasture, because living on a farm with a granary, you wanted to keep the rodent population down so it didn't eat all your grain. So Daddy would let everything that wasn't poisonous back out, and he taught us how to pick them up on behind its head so it couldn't turn on you. Of course, a black snake, you know, it would hurt if it bite you. It might make you a little sick, but other than that, you'd be okay.
Does your family still farm today?
No, after Grandpa sold all his cows off when he was in his 80s, and then him and Daddy still did the produce farm for about 10 more years, and then Grandpa passed on. And then Daddy still did fields for himself, and my mom would sell the stuff at the farmers markets up at Lake Norman.
I think that children today miss out because they do not have the experiences.
Oh yeah, we had a lot. I mean, we worked hard together as a family. But on Sunday, all the neighbors would come over and we'd play out in the backyard in the pasture. The softball, you know, have a big softball game. And then we'd play in the creek, you know, dam it up and play in the creek and swing over the gulches. And there's a lot of things, you know, to said for working hard together as a family. It brings you closer together, I believe.
Sounds pretty fun. Do you have a favorite memory?
Do I have a favorite memory on the farm? Oh gosh, it's hard to say just one. I remember I was in charge of the chickens, and when we were 9, we actually moved out of the farmhouse from Grandma, and then built a house right across the field. And down at the tractor shed, Daddy had the Bantam chickens. They were my sole responsibility. And Bantam roosters can be mean. And I was getting picked up, and I was trying to handle it myself. And one day I came back up from feeding and watering the chickens, and Daddy said, "Girl, let me look at your arm." He says, "How long has that rooster been doing that?" I said, "I don't know, for a couple weeks now." I said, "Every time I go in there, he attacks me." Daddy says, "Well, I'll take care of this." So he goes down there. He opens it up, and the rooster comes at him, and they had big long spurs on the Bantam roosters. That's what he was getting me with. He picked that rooster up, and he threw it as hard as he could against a concrete wall, because he had the chicken coop wire, but the one wall was a concrete box where the tractor was in the shed. And I thought he killed the rooster. But in a little while it came to, and it was going around like this. And Daddy says, "If you ever have trouble with that rooster again," he says, "we'll have us some chicken and dumplings." But the next time I went down there, that rooster never bothered me again. It taught him a good lesson. That was one of my favorite things. And I enjoyed driving the tractor during haying season. I was sort of allergic to the hay stuff, but I drove the tractor. By the time I was 12, I was driving the tractor. That's what later in life I drove a school bus. That's back when they were crazy and let, you know, school-age children drive the school buses. Because I was the only girl in that county that part of the county that could drive a straight drive, because back then school buses were all straight drives, you know. I said, yeah, that's what I learned on. So, yeah. So we had a lot of fun growing up on the farm. I enjoyed it. It was a good life, but it was hard work. I mean, people say, oh, my dad's got a garden. I said, you don't understand, they have fields. Well, you go out there and you go to work in the morning, you come in and have lunch, and then you go back out and work all afternoon in the summer. You had school during the rest of the time. But sometimes you actually, kept us out of school once in a while when we were having a big harvest for something, during like in the fall, or something. So, yeah, but it was a good life. I enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't enjoy, but I didn't really realize it, when we lived in the farmhouse with Grandma and Grandpa, we didn't have an inside toilet. You had to use the outhouse and use the chamber pot. But I didn't know any different, so it didn't bother me. But when we moved over to the main house and had one bathroom for 6 people, we thought we were in heaven. But now it's crazy because we have 3 bathrooms in this house for 3 people that presently live here. Moving on up. But Daddy and Grandpa also had to work in the mills to make ends meet, even though working the dairy farm and the produce farm. It was, hard life, but a productive life.